one of you, Jamone Hill, tweeted at me requesting a video about how I go about planning and budgeting for travel. And hey, guess what? It just so happens I'm going to be traveling the entire month of May, haven't booked all my things yet, still figuring it out, so let's record the process. It's like a haul video, only with more web searches and not as fun. Actually, I wasn't planning on international travel this year. I was gonna hold off until 2016 and then maybe take a big Asia trip, but my cousin, Case, photoed here, she contacted me, I think around January, and asked if I'd be interested in coming to visit for Norwegian Independence Day. Yes, Norway has an Independence Day from Sweden, apparently. Norwegian Air had a lot of travel deals, so she offered to pay for part of my ticket. Who am I to turn down airfare? Not a person who would turn down airfare is the answer to that question. All I know so far is that I'm traveling for a month, and I'm going to be going to New York, Germany, Norway. That's about it. The first thing I always take care of when I'm planning a trip is my flights. I take care of the long-haul flights first, know what city I'm flying in and out of, and then from there I kind of plan by whatever's cheapest slash most convenient slash most flexible. If you're traveling from one destination to another and neither is a major hub, it's gonna be less expensive if you find a major hub nearby that you can either travel to by train or bus or what have you, and then fly in and out of there. So Austin isn't a major hub, but New York City is, and Austin's popular enough that there's a lot of deals between New York and Austin that are relatively cheap. A $200 round trip between New York and Austin, not that bad, and that's what I got my ticket for. And then Norwegian Air covers the international travel. I believe that ticket was about $430 round trip. So from Austin to Oslo, I've got a round trip ticket for a month-long trip for about $650. So I know I'm flying into New York, and then I know from New York I'm going to Oslo, and from there I know that my first stop is going to be from Oslo to somewhere in Germany. I haven't decided where I'm going yet, so I asked you on my second channel and you guys did great. So I know I'm flying in and out of Oslo, and there's another airport near where my cousin lives. It's called Rygge. So I know I have to fly Ryanair in order to get back to Oslo because I want to go to a very particular airport. Let's just go ahead and go straight to the Ryanair website and we'll see what happens. There were no flights out of Berlin. The one flight out of Sachsenwürden wasn't exactly what we wanted. Let's see what Krakow and Wrocław have to offer. I apologize. I don't speak any of these languages and I'm a little dumb. Remind me where Krakow is? Is that where... I think that's right near where Auschwitz was. Whoosh. I like crying my eyes out. It's a thing I haven't done for a while. You know why? Emotionless robot. So since I know my cousin's around, I'm just gonna go ahead and see what she thinks of this plan. I'm in the Warsaw. She's in Warsaw right now! Hey! Okay, she likes Poland a lot. I know she does not speak Polish. That's one of my concerns is I have a real hard time with these Germanic languages. And she can pick me up. Alright. Alright. I'ma do it. We have officially made the first, or no, one of the decisions of the trip. I'm going to Poland, apparently. Okay, so I just bought a ticket from Poland to Oslo. My original plans were to spend a week in Germany, and it looks like now I'm going to Poland. The flight from Krakow to Riga was about 60 bucks, including the $21 bag that I'm gonna check. So now I've got Austin to New York, Oslo, question mark, Krakow to Oslo, New York, Austin. So some of my trip is ready. Now, at this point, I really do need to book a flight from Riga to wherever to get to Krakow. I used to use this website called ITA Software Matrix. But they recently got bought out by Google, so now I use Google Flights. We're gonna pop over to Google Flights. I'm flying one way. I'm leaving Oslo, Germany, and I am leaving on May 9th. I know I want to go to, let's see what Berlin has to offer. And this little X mark here will tell me where I can go anywhere around Berlin. Be aware of the different airports around Berlin or any major city. They might not be the main airport. You may be going to an airport hours from the city that you're planning on arriving in. So do a little research before you buy any actual ticket. I know that I am not arriving until 11. Here's the thing about international travel. When you arrive, you don't just walk into the city. You gotta make sure that you have enough time to go through all the security checks, get all your stuff looked at, and walk out. I just got a little message from my cousin regarding booking flights in Europe. Let's see. When booking tickets in Europe, remember that the flight from New York will be Oslo Germany, but you can also fly to Oslo Rege, which is only 20 minutes from my house. Germany is 2 hours away. Ryanair is very cheap, recommended. See? Cousin knows what she's talking about. Weird! I'm currently buying my flights and making a video, and this is gonna be on screen. Hope you're ready to be famous. Oh, hi! So, what happened was I was researching the plane tickets and my camera cut out. I didn't notice, talked for a long time, and we just missed all the important parts. So what happened was I researched on Google Flights, found a flight from Oslo, the airport I'm flying into, to Berlin, same day, same afternoon as I arrive, about 4 or 5 hours later, which is ideal because I want to leave time to get through customs, arrive, any delays, get out of the one airline, and then jump back into the other airline and then go to wherever I'm going to go. And I'll be arriving in Berlin, I think like 7 in the evening, and it's the main airport, so I shouldn't have any trouble getting to the city. Now I've been trying to do a little research on the trains. Basically, I know Bahn.com is the German website for train travel, and there's one for Poland, and you know, most of the time I don't buy train tickets this far in advance. I'm not going to be there for a good week and a half. Once I arrive, hopefully I'll be couch surfing and I can just ask my hosts where the train station is, what I can do, because usually there's seats available. There's not a big rush to go from Berlin to Warsaw. So just as long as I know there are trains, it looks like there are trains that go to these places, I'm not that worried. I'm gonna save buying train tickets for when I'm actually over there, or maybe next week if I get a little antsy. But what I want to figure out now is where the fuck I'm gonna stay, because I don't know. What I do is I rely on my friends because I'm just so charming. Everyone wants to spend time with me. Who wouldn't, right? My first place is New York. So in New York, I reached out to a couple of friends who are still going to be living there, and I'm going to split my time between them. I don't usually like to stay with someone for more than 3 or 4 nights. I feel like I am really starting to intrude, especially if they don't have a guest bedroom. So I spent the first weekend with my friend Chris, and the latter half of the week with my friends Eric and Katrina, and then I'll jump on a plane to Berlin. I don't know anyone in Berlin, I don't think. So what I tend to do is once I kind of have a trip planned out, I'll post on Facebook, because I'm only Facebook friends with people that I actually personally know, and those people I trust that they're friends with people who are halfway decent human beings. And if they've got a friend in Berlin who's totally willing to put me up, then these are the people I'd rather stay with first. Hello friends, I'm going to be in Berlin and Poland, Warsaw and Krakow from May 9th to the 15th, exclamation point. Will anyone be around or know someone in those cities who might like to meet up for coffee or booze or hookers and blow? So I'm just gonna post that. So after I've done Facebook, I head over to Couchsurfing. So it's been quite a while since I've logged into this account. It still says I'm in San Francisco, so I need to update a few things. So I updated a couple of things to make my Couchsurfing profile current, but I didn't really need to do much because I keep the profile pretty consistent with my personality, and that hasn't shifted too dramatically recently. So I need to find some hosts, and I need to find some hosts in Berlin. Alright. Oh my god, chainsaws. So I can create a public trip, or I can go through and try and find someone specific. I'm gonna go ahead and do both because I'm a good week or more out from needing to find someone to host me in Berlin, and I just want to have all of my options available to me. I don't want it to get to the last minute and have to just scramble to find someone. So I'll go ahead and create a public trip. I'm going to Berlin. I'll be arriving May 10th? Jesus Christ, I don't know when I'm arriving. Yeah, May 10th. I'll be leaving on probably the 13th? Probably the 12th. Yeah, let's say the 12th. My departure date is flexible. It's just me. Trip description. In the description, I basically just kept it very vague and general. Said, hey, I wish I could write this in German, but I only speak English and French. I'll be traveling to Berlin for the first time. I've done a lot of couch surfing before, but it's been a while. I'd love to find a host to show me best parts of Berlin, and by that I mean coffee shops, parks, restaurants, dive bars, and, you know, I wouldn't mind a magical portal to a magical otherworld. Nah, let's get rid of that magical. I wouldn't mind being showed a portal to a magical otherworld, but that's not a deal breaker. I'm aware that the phrase deal breaker might not translate that well, but we'll see. It might be a conversation starter. Let me know if you've got room for an American chick to stay for a couple of days. Okay, Malia. So I went ahead and created that. Hey, that's out there now. Now I'm gonna go back to Berlin, and I'm going to go ahead and set some filters and see what hosts are available to me. Alright, I guess 10 kilometers seems okay. I don't need any keywords. Accepting guests and maybe accepting guests, sure. And, well, I'm just gonna do accepting guests, period. And if I don't find anyone, I'm going to expand my filters to do anything, because if I have to stay in a hostel, that's fine. I just want to be able to meet up with a local and see what's going on. My lizard. I don't really have a gender preference. I'd like them to have logged in the last month. That means that they're somewhat active, or at least thinking about hosting someone. And I don't really care about the join dates. Languages spoken needs to be English. I don't speak in German. For my age recommendations, I'm 30. I'm not in a place where I want to stay with a 19-year-old living with 18 other 19-year-olds in a giant house, and I'm aware that there are plenty of 19-year-olds who are making it, doing great, but I just find that I have better luck if I set the ratings around, like, 10 years of my own age. So I usually go, like, 25 to 35. That seems to get like-minded people I get along with better, and I just have better luck. Other filters. I don't really care where I sleep. Definitely not a shared bed. So, shared room, public room, or private room. I'm not going to be sharing a bed with anybody. Don't really care about smoking preference. If it's not in the house, and we'll see. Number of guests welcome. Well, I mean, I don't really care what they do. I don't need any of this. Sort by. Let's go ahead and sort by hosting experience. And I'm going to hit search. Alright, look, hey, I got a whole bunch of choices. You're welcome. I'm going to go through here, and I'm not going to go for everyone. I'm going to go through and look for photos that kind of resonate with me, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the process I go through. So let's go ahead and just take these three, and we'll see what they're like. So I'll go through and I'll probably tab out about 10 to 15 different profiles, and then I'll go through the profile, and what I'll do first is I'll look at their photos. Because I find that photos tell me a lot about the person, honestly. So this guy, he's got that pensive looking out into the distance on a rock photo, which everyone has. Not mad at you, just that's what happens. Oh, he's got a nice smile. He plays the guitar. He was wearing a turban at one point. Alright, that seems like that's it for him. The first thing I go through before I look at anything is I'll go to the references, I see if they have anything negative. Nope, he's all positive. He's mostly from guests, which is good because I want him to host me. It looks like he's got 28 friends. Also good, he knows people, and now I'll go through and I'll look at his information. Yeah, he looks like a nice guy. Nothing about this is really jumping out at me, which it's fine. I'm just gonna put him over to the side and I might consider him later. So it's a picture of the couch. Okay. Looks like a fine human being. There's just something about it that's rubbing me the wrong way. So I'm just gonna get rid of that. Let's go to Milenko? Milenko? I'm sorry. Alright. Oh, he's got a kind face. Every person has the looking off into the distant picture and the jumping picture. What's that about? Looks like he knows photographers if he's not one himself. Alright, so I'll go ahead and look. He's got 114 friends, 79 references, 1 negative reference. We'll go ahead and look at this. Considering this is not such a good reason to leave a negative reference on my page, just for I couldn't reply to his request, because the 1 negative reference on this guy is because there was kind of a miscommunication with the reply, and he even, you know, replied to his negative response. I don't see this as a bad thing. If this negative response, if there was like 6 negative responses, all from women saying this guy will try and touch you at night, there'd be no way I'd consider this. Alright, even if there was one like, it made me feel kind of uneasy, no, I would not even go there. Considering the 1 negative thing is not really a negative, it seems like this guy had more of a problem, I'm still gonna consider this guy. And now I'm going to look at the positive ones, see if they're more than, you know, oh, this guy was great. Some of these are really long, some of these are short, and it looks like he replies to them all. Okay, so that's good etiquette. Let's look about the bed information. Maximum number of guests 2, doesn't smoke, he's got a roommate who's a woman. All this looks pretty good, so let's see about him as a person. I've got a slightly more positive, oh, he's been vouched for 19 times. That's really good. So it seems like this guy's a really experienced couch surfer. He seems like he's got a sense of humor. I like that he's got a female roommate. You know, it seems like we get along fine. There's nothing about this like, I have to meet this person, which I'm not going to go through the whole process of finding that person while we're making this video, but usually I'll go through profiles until I find someone who's like, yes, I want to meet this person. And I've got like 5 to 10 people who are like, definitely know the couch surfing game, seems like they've got a good space for me to crash, and then I will write them all a message, personalized message, saying who they are, stuff from their profile, why I'd like to meet them, and if they're available to host me. And then I try to do this between 1 and 2 weeks in advance, not much more advanced than that, because they might be traveling, they might be not there, they might not know their plans, and I feel like a week to 2 weeks out, they can kind of glean whether or not they'd like to host you. Alright, so I'm going to go through and I'm going to do that for Berlin, Warsaw, and Krakow. I know the general days that I'll be there, and the thing about couchsurfing is it's kind of flexible. People are usually cool if your plans change. I know that I'm staying with my cousin in Bergen and Oslo, and that I'm all set for the rest of the trip because I'm staying with friends and family. So that's kind of it. I don't really plan too much as far as what I'm going to do in these cities. I might look into 1 or 2 things, or I might ask you guys on Twitter or YouTube what y'all recommend, and generally I just go by who I meet and what opportunities come to me, and tend to have a good time. So yeah, I'm leaving tomorrow. I'm actually supposed to be packing up right now and moving everything to my parents' house, but instead I'm going to edit this video and post it. Other than that, yeah, Instagram, Snapchat, and YouTube. Honey! Oh my god! Just jumped out of her cage. Okay, so Social media bullshit's in the downstairs. I'm going to be updating most of this on Snapchat, Instagram, and YouTube. So if you want to keep up with my trip and see what I'm doing or give me suggestions, follow me on one of those places or the Twitter. I've got to pack. Oh God. Okay, bye.